In 2009, Marcus Pearson, aka Notch, developed the first alpha build of a game called Cave Game, which eventually would be known as Minecraft. In the game, players would explore a procedurally generated, three-dimensional world with virtually infinite terrain made up of blocks. In this sandbox world, you could build expansive structures, mine through the depths below your feet for resources boundless, fight your way through masses of enemies from the undead to powerful bosses, or just have a relaxing day by the ocean fishing, just to name a few, as the list really does go on. But why has this simple game, made 16 years ago, managed to stay in the mainstream? That is the question I intend to explore today. First of all, let's take a look at the core of the game, or I shall refer to it as the Minecraft formula. As stated previously, the game has many activities you can partake in, but you have to start out somewhere. You spawn into a world uniquely built upon generation and begin to gather simple resources such as wood and stone.
There is no one else, and their job is to endure as long as possible. So during the day they collect cube resources and construct their first base to resist the invasions of creepers, endermen, and zombies at night. All by themselves, accompanied by calm music as if confirming that this world will last, no matter what.
From this point forward, it's up to you to take up any of the paths the world provides you. You could become a powerful warrior, you could develop your skills as a master engineer, you could become an intricate architect, and the list really does just go on and on. The fact the game has so many options lends to its replayability, so you could either put all of your time into one world, or you could have a bunch of other worlds where you have specific goals in mind. This aspect of the game, I think, fits perfectly into the uses and gratifications theory developed in 1979 by Jay Bollmer and Elihu Katz. The basic principles of the theory is that the consumer of the media chooses to engage with the media based upon its use to them, engaging more and more when the content is suited to them. Cynthia Vinnie, of ThoughtCo, states that in the uses and gratifications theory,
it stresses the power of the individual over the power of the media. Individual differences mediate the relationship between media and their effects.
The whole point of the game is that it's suited towards the user's needs by being able to be as free as you'd like, so there is no wonder that the game has remained in public consciousness as it is the pinnacle of this theory. With everything stated so far, you would probably think that if you spend enough time playing, you will eventually do everything that the game provides to you. While that is true in the most part, it is only a temporary issue, as despite its age, Minecraft has been receiving major content updates since its inception. To quote Lucas Stolz,
"The history of Minecraft is marked by updates and milestones, each adding fresh content and enhancing gameplay."
what first brought attraction to Minecraft in its early days was the first two major updates, Alpha 1.2, the Nether update, and version 1.0, the Adventure update. These two versions added the most iconic areas of the game, being the fiery wastelands of the Nether and the island that floats above an infinite void, the End. These two dimensions are linked together as you have to go to the Nether to access the End, which gave the game its first most followed line of progression. This process was as follows: go to the Nether, get blaze rods from killing blazes in a fortress, gather ender pearls from killing endermen, combine the two drops to make ender eyes, use the eyes of ender to locate the stronghold, navigate the stronghold to find the portal room, use the eyes of ender you crafted to fill in the gaps in the portal, and with that, you have gained access to the game's final challenge. Entering the portal, you'll realise that you would have no way back to the overworld, as there appeared to be no portal to travel back through. Making your way to the island, you look up and see several obsidian pillars with glowing crystals atop them, as you would hear a loud, deep roar from above you, as you look to the top of your screen to see a purple boss bar. Introduced as a part of the Adventure update, the Ender Dragon was a final goal for any player at that time. Facing down a huge black dragon who flew around a solitary island, you would be tasked with taking down the end crystals atop the pillars surrounding the dragon's perch, then dealing damage to the beast in hopes of escaping the island you find yourself trapped on. After dealing the final blow, the dragon explodes into hundreds of balls of experience, with the perch transforming into an exit portal, a way back to your home. The absolute contrast of the new dimensions, filled with the exotic enemies compared to the simple, safe overworld, allured players to explore more and more and find more and more content to play through. The developers fueled this desire for more from players, which is evident from these updates preceding the version 1.0. These included 1.3 trading in temples, which added villager trades and temples found in the desert biome that contained good loot. Update version 1.4, the pretty scary update, which added the second ever boss to the game, the Wither. Update versions 1.5 and 1.7, which added new redstone components and 4 brand new biomes, the Ice Spikes, Acacia, Taiga, and Badlands Mesa biomes. And finally, update version 1.8, the Bountiful update, which added the underwater ocean monuments with its guardians and the Elder Guardian, which was Minecraft's first mini-boss. This was the golden age of the Minecraft franchise. The game's popularity was at an all-time high, and it wasn't just due to the game itself being fun. It was the people who were playing the game and sharing their experiences with others on sites like YouTube that fueled the Minecraft flame. Content creators such as Stampy Longnose, the Diamond Minecart, Iblistic Squid, the Yogscast, and many more created videos of themselves playing the game that everyone had heard about and adding their own fun commentary and humour. This drew in big audiences who then in turn tried the game for themselves. The game's unlimited potential was being tapped all around the globe by people young and old. All of these big updates bring us to 2014, 5 years deep into the development of Minecraft, and the game had made a grand total of around $7 million US. These big figures and the mass following the game had received in such a short amount of time caught the attention of big tech corporation Microsoft. They saw the potential that the game had and wanted in on the success the game was having, so in November of 2014, they bought the company behind Minecraft, Mojang, for $2 billion US. When the player base asked why the devs would possibly want to sell their creation to Microsoft, one of the developers, Owen, had this to say in a blog post.
Minecraft has grown from a simple game to a project of monumental significance. Though we're massively proud of what Minecraft has become, it was never Notch's intention for it to get this big.
Most of the player base was still worried, however, as they were suspicious of Microsoft's motives, hoping they were not just in it for the brand recognition money. So in an attempt to soothe player concern, we were left with another line from Owen.
Change is scary, and this is a big change for all of us. It's gonna be good though. Everything is gonna be okay.
Unfortunately, however, after the acquisition of Mojang from Microsoft, there were no game updates for the entirety of the following year in 2015. And even more unfortunately, things only worsened from there. On February 29, 2016, we received update versions 1.9 dubbed the Combat Update, but colloquially known as Minecraft's most controversial update. The update did add some great features such as an overhaul to the end, adding post-dragon content in the Outer End Islands, End Cities, and the Elytra Wings. There was one update to the game's mechanics though that caused the game's community to be in an outrage. The combat mechanics for the game were updated so that you can no longer win fights by tapping your attack button faster than your opponent. You now have to time your attacks as your weapon has a short cooldown, allowing for maximum damage if you wait for the cooldown to finish, and if you don't, you'll deal less damage and less damage the faster you swing. This change caused rapture in the PvP community, as skills that they honed for the last 7 years were completely useless with the new mechanics. Mojang's decisions were a key reason why 2014 was one of the game's least profitable years, only earning $165 million US, a big drop from previous years. In an attempt to cover for controversial changes, they released 2 more updates in 2016, but these additions were largely underwhelming, causing the start of player fatigue. After 2016, updates became only a yearly occurrence, and the game's appeal started to dwindle, with players losing a lack of long-term interest. Microsoft's lack of community support, joined with the rise of other live service games like Fortnite Battle Royale in 2017, highlighted the importance of listening to players. Even the creators who helped popularize the game began to lose interest, leading to fewer and fewer Minecraft videos being made by them. While the game still earned over $1.8 billion from 2014 to 2018, nearly gaining back Microsoft's investment, Mojang's direction seemed to be steering the game away from its success. But there was one thing that could keep the game alive. One thing that made the game rise in its early days. The one thing no update or acquisition could ever take away. It was the memories made when you would start playing. Building your first house, making your first farm, playing with your friends for hours, getting annoyed when you tied to a creeper, and being elated till when you found diamonds. All of the little simple experiences adding up over time to create your version of Minecraft. Being able to live in a fully expansive world where you can do anything you want if you just put your mind to it is the essence of Minecraft's core. To quote the famous Minecraft YouTuber JSchlatt,
Minecraft the game is changing. Minecraft's audience changed a long time ago. The only thing that's really stayed static about it has been the music. You put me in some random world I've never explored. You can add weird new items I'll never know how to use, but to me, it's not really Minecraft until that music starts fading in, and I'm pulled back into a world when nothing really mattered.
to further prove that these feelings aren't just limited to a few people, I made a questionnaire including a wide range of questions I sent to a wide group of players so I could understand just how other people felt about the game too.
As a young kid, being able to play a game where I could build whatever I wanted, from a diamond cube house to building the biggest wheat farm and being so proud of myself, or to tame as many dogs as possible and promising them the best life ever. But as I grew, so did the game. I took a few years off, but what really made me love Minecraft and what will always bring me back to the game is meeting friends. From having friends as a kid and now to having friends as an adult. Having people to play with will always make Minecraft my favourite game. Just seeing how far the game has come would make my younger self so happy.
My fondest memory was from my creative world from when I was about 6. It was an outlet for my creativity, and I spent countless hours working on it. It wasn't really pretty, but I had made at least one build for every member of my family. I don't have access to it, but I would do a lot to visit it again.
My favourite memory would have been a couple years back. I was invited to a school friend's Minecraft server, and then decided to split away from the group and invite some of my own friends, and form a group of freedom fighters the likes of the world of which never seen. Eventually, our group, some 6 members strong, were wiped out in a full-scale war that lasted weeks, though it was still incredibly fun.
You're probably wondering what my favourite memory is. If I had to choose one specifically, it would have to be the nights I spent awake longer than I should have during lockdown in early 2021. Playing Minecraft all day, working on my house and other builds, and when it got around 11 PM, it would be me and a few other friends on a Discord call, and we'd just sit by my house and fish our hearts out, just chatting to each other and listening to some music. It was nice knowing we could make something stable while, in real life, the world outside was a mess. Our memories and nostalgia helped keep Minecraft alive even when the game wasn't in its best state. And as long as the game is there, there'll always be new memories to make and old ones to relive. The game is what you make it after all.
The worlds of Minecraft are written in pen. They don't change on their own. Once the world is generated, for all intents and purposes, that's it. Anything that changes is because you changed it.
On April 23rd, 2019, Minecraft version 1.14, the Village and Pillage update, was released. Mojang knew the game couldn't keep going in the direction it had been, so they decided to try and breathe a bit more of new life into the game. The update added an overhaul to the entire village system, with new designs for the villagers and the village itself, a reworked trading system, and the brand new pillager raids. On top of those additions, another big change was made. Almost everything in the game was tweaked to have brand new and improved designs. These big strides forward didn't go unnoticed by the community, as the second biggest YouTuber in the world at the time, PewDiePie, started his very own Minecraft series after not playing the game for several years. In conjunction to this, another YouTuber, Philza, was bringing masses of people back to the game after he went viral for dying in his 5-year-old hardcore world after just one day after the 1.14 update. All of these events sort of made a perfect storm that shot Minecraft back into the public consciousness, and it did not just stop there. Over the next 6 years, Mojang worked hard to keep the game in a state where players would have enough content to keep themselves satisfied. The most prevalent things that come to mind are the 1.16 Nether update, which completely overhauled the Nether with brand new biomes, structures, and even a brand new material in netherite which was used to craft the strongest armor in the game. Versions 1.17, 18, 19 being the Caves and Cliffs update, parts 1 and 2, and the Wild update respectively. I bundled them all together here as they were supposed to be in one big update but were spread out due to constraints set by the coronavirus. These updates included world generation overhaul, adding deep slate caves below Y level 0 and lofty peaks above Y level 100, and the brand new cave biome, the Deep Dark, and a new structure, the Ancient City, and a bunch of new items and mobs. With every update that came, there were new exciting things for players to explore, build, and mine. In the present day, the game has made $4.3 billion in revenue since its release, with the wider company Mojang having made more than this with spin-offs they have developed, those being the point-and-click adventure game Minecraft Story Mode, the dungeon crawler game Minecraft Dungeons, and the tactical battle strategy game Minecraft Legends. In addition to these spin-offs, there was now also a live-action Minecraft movie set to release on the 4th of April 2025.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
This cements the fact that Mojang learned from their missteps and is determined to keep their game in the spotlight. And with that, I have just one last thing to say.
Let's go to a place where everything is made of blocks, where the only limit is your imagination. Let's go wherever you want to go. Climb the tallest mountains. Venture down to the darkest caves. Build anything you want. Day or night, rain or shine. Because this is the most significant sandbox you'll ever set foot in. Build a majestic castle. Invent a new machine, or take a ride on a roller coaster. Play with friends. Build your own little community. Protect yourself with the strongest armor that you can craft. And fight off the dangers of the night. No one can tell you what you can or cannot do. With no rules to follow. This adventure, it's up to you.